Hello, esteemed health enthusiasts over 50. You have probably heard that walnuts are considered a superfood that benefits the heart, brain, and even mood. This is indeed true. But here is something that may surprise you. Nearly 95% of elderly people unknowingly make at least one mistake in the use of walnuts, which can harm their health instead of benefiting it. I am a
Some
certified
variety
nutrition
flavors such as
specialist
berry
working
and
with the
orange
elderly,
provide
and
essential
today we will
vitamins.
discuss a product I
So,
recommend to
a
many of my
portion of these
patients,
every
but with
day.
some important caveats that are often overlooked. Walnuts are rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and plant protein, but their consumption timing, portion size, and storage methods can determine whether they enhance memory or cause inflammation. According to a reputable medical publication, daily consumption of just 1 ounce of walnuts can reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases by 15%. However, if consumed incorrectly, the same nuts can interfere with medication, provoke allergies, or even spoil, turning a healthy habit into a hidden threat. Stay with
My
me, and
grandmother
we will
always
discuss the
said that
5 most
true
common
wisdom is
mistakes with
like a
walnuts that
walnut.
elderly people
You
should
have to
avoid
work a
and
little to
how to
get to
fix
the
them
good
forever.
part.
If this information is helpful to you, don't forget to support it. It will help more elderly people learn about important nutrition rules. Imagine for a moment, a quiet evening, you relax in your favorite armchair. Perhaps you take a handful of walnuts while watching television or add them to your oatmeal in the morning. Do you think these are healthy fats? Your doctor said it's good, and you are absolutely right. Walnuts are indeed beneficial. But that's where the difficulties begin. The way most elderly people eat, store, and combine walnuts with medicines or other products can subtly negate their benefits or even cause hidden health issues that accumulate over time. As we age, our digestive enzymes slow down, the liver processes fats differently, and the list of medications grows longer. What worked effectively at 40 does not always work as well at 60 or 70. Therefore, healthy foods can sometimes have the opposite effect on elderly people. The problem lies not in the products themselves, but in how they are perceived by the aging body. According to the National Institute on Aging, nearly 70 to 100% of adults over 60 consume omega-3 rich foods or supplements weekly, but only a third do so safely, following proper dosages and timing. The others unknowingly combine them with medications or store them incorrectly, reducing nutrient absorption or increasing the likelihood of side effects. This is not a question of fear, but a question of awareness, because the same handful of nuts can enrich your brain and heart or disrupt the fragile balance of your body. Let's sort this out once and for all. Here are 5 common mistakes that elderly people make when it comes to walnuts, starting with the most common one. The first mistake is consuming too many. Many elderly people believe that since walnuts contain healthy fats, they can be eaten in unlimited quantities. However, after 60, the body starts to function differently. Just 7 halves of a walnut, which weigh about 1 ounce, contain 185 calories and 18 grams of fat. Official data states that this is almost 1/3 of the daily fat intake in just one small serving. Despite the fact that these fats are healthy, the digestive system slows down with age and can only handle a limited amount of food at a time. If you overdo it, it can lead to bloating, mild diarrhea, or unwanted weight gain, even if you stick to healthy eating. A simple solution is to limit yourself to 1 ounce a day, which is about 7 halves. Consume them slowly, best as a snack when your metabolism is more stable. You can combine nuts with a few slices of apple or a spoonful of Greek yogurt for better digestion. In the end, remember, moderation in walnuts is not boring, but a sensible approach. Mistake number 2 is eating walnuts at the wrong time. Especially in combination with medications, timing matters more than it seems. Walnuts are rich in healthy fats and fiber, which can slow down the absorption of medications by 2 hours. Research shows that if you take heart, thyroid, or blood pressure medications and eat nuts right before or after, these drugs may not be fully absorbed, reducing their effectiveness or leading to unpredictable blood levels. This is a serious problem for elderly people suffering from chronic illnesses. To avoid this, take a break of at least 2 hours between taking nuts and medications. A good time for a snack is midday, when the stomach is not full, the medicine has been absorbed, and energy levels start to drop. If you prefer to snack before bed, it's better to skip nuts, as slow nighttime digestion can cause discomfort or even insomnia. In the end, consider walnuts as a small meal rather than a nighttime snack. Mistake number 3 is ignoring the interaction with other foods and supplements. This mistake lurks for almost everyone. Walnuts are rich in omega-3, which is beneficial for brain and heart health. But if you are already taking fish oil, eating fatty fish, or using blood-thinning medications, excess omega-3 can increase the risk of bleeding by about 40%. According to safety reviews, a combination of walnuts, fish oil, and, for example, salmon for dinner can subtly increase this risk. Another hidden problem is iron absorption. Compounds found in walnuts can block up to 60% of iron absorption when eaten with supplements, which can be detrimental to elderly people prone to anemia. Solution: if you consume fish oil or anticoagulants, limit your nut intake to 3 or 4 halves a day. Avoid consuming them for 2 hours after taking iron supplements or iron-rich meals. Conclusion: even the healthiest foods require a sensible approach. Error number 4 is the improper purchase and storage of walnuts, which can lead to serious health consequences. Walnuts contain delicate, unsaturated oils that are prone to oxidation. When these oils spoil, compounds arise that can cause inflammatory processes, stomach irritation, and even cardiovascular problems. A study conducted in 2020 showed that over 90% of walnuts stored in open display in stores become partially rancid within just 3 months. Sadly, many do not notice that nuts have spoiled until they become bitter or start to emit a sharp smell. By then, damage may already be done. How to keep nuts fresh: buy them in small batches, not exceeding a month's supply. Store in an airtight glass jar in the refrigerator. For long-term storage, it's better to use the freezer, as they will retain freshness for up to a year. Avoid transparent containers and sunlight as they promote oxidation. Fresh nuts should have a soft, nutty aroma, not a sour or bitter smell reminiscent of old paint. Conclusion: fresh nuts emit the scent of nature, while rancid ones smell like paint. Mistake number 5 is ignoring the risks of allergies and cross-contamination. Many believe that food allergies only occur in childhood, but studies show otherwise. According to a 2020 report, cases of nut allergies in adults are increasing by 12% annually, with walnuts being one of the main triggers. Symptoms may initially appear unnoticed: a slight stomach upset, tingling in the mouth, or a rash mistaken for dry skin. But these early manifestations can develop into serious reactions if not noticed. Even if you don't have allergies, cross-contamination is a growing problem. About 95% of walnut products are processed in facilities that also handle peanuts, cashews, or almonds. For elderly people sensitive to other nuts, this can become a hidden threat. What to do? Start small. Consume 2 or 3 halves of nuts a day for the first week. Pay attention to the body's reactions: skin condition, digestion, and breathing. Always check labels for traces of other nuts. If something seems suspicious, stop consuming it immediately and consult a doctor. Conclusion: never ignore your body's signals, as they may require more serious attention later. Now that you have learned about the main mistakes and how to fix them, let's summarize. I will tell you how to create a simple and comfortable routine with walnuts for elderly people that will fit harmoniously into everyday life. Now that we have discussed what to avoid, let's talk about how to make walnuts truly healthy, safe, simple, and tasty. The secret is not to eat more of them, but to maintain regularity. By creating a small daily habit with nuts and following it, your body adapts, digestion improves, cholesterol levels stabilize, and the brain receives stable nourishment every day. Start with this simple routine. Afternoon time is around 2:30. 7 halves of walnuts pair well with a few slices of apple or half a cup of Greek yogurt. This time does not overlap with taking medication and helps maintain energy levels between lunch and dinner. If you take morning medications for breakfast, skip the nuts and add them later when your stomach is free. For dinner, reduce the amount of nuts if you plan to eat fatty fish or take omega-3 supplements. Balance your plate with vegetables, lean protein, and perhaps a drizzle of olive oil for heart health. How you store and prepare nuts is important. Keep them in an airtight glass jar in the refrigerator and lightly roast for 5 minutes before consumption to enhance flavor and digestibility. Research shows that elderly people who eat walnuts at least 5 times a week have a 20% lower risk of cardiovascular diseases and better maintain cognitive functions as they age. So remember, you don't need to strive for perfection, just a steady approach. A small handful of nuts every day, fresh and eaten at the right time, can support your heart, mind, and longevity for many years. Now, about the 5 mistakes with walnuts to avoid after 60. Do not overeat. Do not snack at inappropriate times. Do not combine with unsuitable products or additives. Store them improperly. And do not ignore signs of allergies. Remember, healthy aging is not a race for perfection, but regularity and mindfulness. A small handful of fresh walnuts eaten at the right time each day can significantly improve your heart health, brain function, and overall energy levels. The goal is not to fear food, but to understand how it can work for you. If this text helped you learn about at least one mistake, do a small favor. Share it with a friend who loves walnuts and stay in touch for new science-based nutrition tips for the elderly. Next week, we will discuss 5 common mistakes with avocados that many elderly people make. Think walnuts are difficult? Wait until you see what many face with avocado. In the meantime, stay healthy, curious, and continue to fill your best years ahead.